Are you ready?
Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
I said, are you ready?
Swung on, line to deep left field. It is gone! You should see the celebration out of the Indians' third base dugout. Rajay Davis, a bullet.
And here we go.
For the We Like Sportz Podcast with the hosts you love, Riggs, Keith, and Peyton.
I'm watching now a little bit your baseball here in America. This game is the most confused game of that I'm knowing. I enjoy football. You say soccer. We have a ball. We have a net. We have a net. Kick in, boom. You kick it. Did ball go in net? Boom, point. We are finished. Next time, now we go again. Ball, point, boom, net, ball, net, done. No, baseball. Oh, okay. We have some pillows. We have some pillows on the dirt, and then we have some grass, and then we have people that stand all around. They make a grabbing of the downstairs, grab of crouch, look around. Then man with stick is there, and then man look at stick man. And look at man with glove, and he make like this for like 1 minute with a man, and then he boom, he throw a ball to the stick man, and the stick man may hit. If he make a miss of 3 times, then out. But if 4 times the throw is bad, boom, then he may walk to a pillow. Or if he make a hit of ball and it go to the side of the paints, then it is more hits and hits and hits. But if he hit a ball very far, then he may run on all the pillows around the pillows. And sometimes someone is stealing the pillows, and sometimes a man is, if you hit a man with a ball, then he may run to the pillows. And many people, the boys in the trench, they sit in the trench, and they look around, and they spit in the hat, and then clap, and spit, and then they run to the field, and then they make a trade in 9 times, but time out on the 7. After 7 times I've run on field, everyone sing a song about popcorn. And then they do more hits and throws. What? Who's winning? What is occurring? I don't know. Babe Ruth.
Welcome to the We Like Sportz Podcast. What? Shout out to Riggs and I, our good friend and friend of the show, Andrew Tankersley, for showing me that video. The dude's actually a comedian, and he calls basketball like hoopy dunk, and like pigskin. He was saying like he loves football and he likes the teams that's like are like an animal, and he was like the Chicago Bears, like goodbye Matt Singletary's leg. Yes. It was just so good. Like it's so funny, and like you were just losing it for a minute.
That was great.
Honestly,
the pillows.
the highlight of of that video is after 7 innings, we dumb Americans sing a song about popcorn.
I want to.
You call us dumb Americans?
No, I said the dumb Americans part. I'm American. I can say I'm dumb.
Baseball's in Canada too, alright? Chill out.
I would like to see that man call
Not
it.
anymore, it's not.
I would like to see that man. Can you imagine him calling a sports game?
That'd be great.
Top of the 5. Here, he steps off the
stick man.
pillow. Right.
Man, run, pillow.
And you hit the ball very far.
Sometimes they steal the pillow.
So, anyways, welcome to the We Like Sportz Podcast with Keith, Riggs, Parker, and Peyton. Right now for the tip-off, though, we had a little bit of fun. We'll get into that maybe a little bit on. We got a big show going on, 7:30 to 9:30. I'm talking like I'm a auctioneer. I don't know why, but it's just going really quick.
Okay.
So whatever works. Tip-off time. Riggs, it's your tip-off. Take the ball and Tristan Thompson it. Get your $80 million and go on with it. You're not.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thought you were
tip-off.
going Booker T for a minute.
No, if I would have done that, sucker, and hit you, sucker. But nonetheless, okay, the tip-off for today's show on the We Like Sportz Podcast. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski shows up to Texas to Baker Mayfield's home.
Awesome.
How you take that as being awesome? I have my points on that. I want to hear that from the boys first.
I love it. I'll tell you what. It's showing that Kevin Stefanski is doing what we call put in work. He's putting work, which is something that Freddie Kitchens did not do anything at all last year. They said he was a terrible head coach because he never put the work in for it. This is a guy who wants to be a leader, change his franchise around, and he is going to put the work in for that.
Keith.
Yeah.
I don't want to refer back to the Last Dance, but let's take it back to where.
Oh my God.
Who was your last dance with?
No, I just finished that.
You know, I still have it recording,
Wow.
but it wasn't recording because I didn't have
Wow.
cable.
No, incredible.
Yes,
I'm
very
so glad you
incredible.
told me to watch it.
Yes.
Incredible. Go ahead.
But not to bite off the Last Dance again. When Phil Jackson first met Dennis Rodman, he went to his home and he met him. And yeah, he didn't like the fact that he didn't stand up and meet Coach. But if you invite someone to your home, you're seeing them in their natural environment. You should be able to cut.
Habitat.
Right, yeah, you should be able to, cut the bull with them and, shoot the breeze or whatnot, whatever term you want to use for it. They probably cook burgers and just watch movies, but hopefully they got on the same path and on the same page.
It's in Texas.
Steaks,
Half a steak.
Ribs.
whatever it is, but
burgers.
but when you invite someone over to your house, there's some type of trust.
Like the B spot.
B-spot.
Is that like the G-spot?
When you invite someone to your house, there's some type of trust and some type of camaraderie there. Obviously, I would have my head coach over. I've had bosses to my house, general managers, you name it.
What if that's not how it went?
If
What
that's
if
not,
he gets there and Baker's like, "Don't eat my food. Take your shoes off. Sit down, and I'm going to talk to you." That's it.
then,
What if
And
that-
I'm
you got to
house
respect
now.
that. You got to respect that. I
What if,
would.
like Stefan, he was like, "Look, this is my house. I'm going to tell you what to do." When
And this
I'm
is
on the
my
field,
team.
the Brown, yeah, he mowed the 50-yard line in a commercial. That Brown, I mean, like, what if he just took charge? We
He
don't know,
is
like, what
Progressive
happened.
Field.
That's all.
Wait,
Wow, I like that. I
That's
didn't-
not even it.
Is that,
Right,
Is
wow.
that where Kevin Stefanski went? Was he just not
He
going to the
is
offices at
First
Cleveland Brown
Energy Stadium.
No,
You
You-
sure?
I'm
I
positive.
thought Baker lived at
I'm so
First Energy.
confident.
No, I mean, well, that's one of his houses. The man's got
That's what I'm
money. You
saying.
can move around.
Oh,
But
man.
no, that. I think that's completely awesome. Like you go to his house, and like Keith said, like that would be awesome if Baker was like, look, yeah, you're in my house, but these are the rules. When I'm in your house, I obey by your rules.
And there's that chick from the Cheesecake Factory.
What if they went and got some cheesecake afterwards?
Honestly, it would be like Kevin Stefanski doing that. It's his treat to Baker, and Baker looks at him and goes, real funny, dude.
That'd have been funny. I would have done it.
And I censored myself, too. Tyler, you didn't have to hit that button. I had it covered. Anyways, though, I guess from my point of view, since my opinion barely ever matters,
That's right. But you're a Browns fan now, right?
yeah, as of right now, until next week.
We'll dump him in that orange
No, you know
orange
what?
water.
No, we're not. We don't have these. We don't have this whole. I'm a Browns fan till next week. Either you're on the wagon.
It depends. Is Peyton Hillis going to actually befriend me, and we'll be cool, and we could actually talk
He's
football?
probably got to get
because
you.
right
He's
now,
got to initiate. He's got to initiate
He's
you.
gonna truck you like, oh my god, I can't wait.
He has to initiate you. I feel like.
You know, there's like a few things I'm worried about Hillis coming into town about. One of them is definitely meeting you because I don't want you to get hurt.
you
I
do
don't know
realize
what's gonna happen.
I'm not stupid. Like, I'm not going to show up with
Oh,
Steelers
man.
shirt, Steelers I'm maybe sweatpants on stupid, but I'm not going to, I'll have shorts on underneath, so I'll take them off.
No, don't do any of
God.
that. Show up in Browns. You just said you weren't stupid. And
Where
And then the plain deal is like
how
former
about-
Cleveland
how
Browns
about
running
you
back
dress-
trucks this
How about
guy.
you dress a little bit like a professional?
Can you give me some advice after the show?
Oh, absolutely. I will hook you up at the Men's Warehouse. Don't worry.
Sounds
Men's
good.
Warehouse.
I'm more of a
Yes,
Plato's
Rest.
Closet guy, but
Plato's Closet does it for like 10-year-olds.
And chicks.
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I just said a name.
Take your watch off.
I'm not watching anything.
It's fine now. Like,
It's all right.
We need it.
But anyways, for my opinion, though, with Kevin Stefanski going to see Baker Mayfield, here you go.
He's like Debo of the
Wow,
show.
this is actually a nice watch.
I know it is. Thank you.
You better tuck that chain too.
Oh my God! My grandmama gave me this chain.
What the hell? It's so
Sweaty.
Take this back.
Shake his hand or touch his hand after you work out with him, or when you touch a dumbbell. Hey Peyton, hand me those 55s. Ugh, no.
55s? In what world do you throw up 55s, Riggs?
You know, like when we're let's say when
Not
we
in
like
our
chest,
world.
Shrugs.
55s.
like chest press, like when we're.
You can do at least 95.
Listen,
shrugs.
brother. If
But what I'm trying to get at is that when you grab a dumbbell after this guy, it's a river.
Why?
hey, that's not a bad thing if it's a river, though.
No, it is.
No, it's definitely a river with all those ridges in there. You know, where you grip it, it's just flowing through, isn't it?
It's all about the flow. Speaking of which, Mike Clevinger, we'll get to you later on.
I might have corona.
No, it's just sweat, you son of a beast.
That was gross.
Son of a beast.
That was awful.
So anyways, though, Kevin Stefanski visiting Baker's house.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that finds it weird because it's a first-year head coach visiting a quarterback, especially right now? And I'm gonna take that route, and Keith is gonna end up yelling right in my ear.
No, because the only thing.
COVID-19's going on, so why end up pretty much going through that? That's not really a safe idea, and plus, you guys haven't really met outside of like you guys. This is a first-year head coach showing up to your house.
Far away from each other.
Yeah, I mean
They
Baker
went
probably has a
throughout
big
the
enough
world.
living room and a
Yeah,
big enough
it's-
sectional.
Even if they didn't, you want to know why I take it as a kind of a weird and a good idea. So to me, it is a weird idea for the COVID thing. You don't want to just take. I've always believed COVID is a real thing. I'm just not afraid of it. There's a difference. Like, that's a thing. I'm just not afraid of it. I'm not going to live my life in fear.
I like that.
There's nothing to fear but fear itself.
But when you get down to it, like, because of COVID, there's a lot of unconventional stuff we have to try to figure out. He didn't have that interaction that he normally would have had, with Stefanski 3 months ago, 2 months ago, whatever. He doesn't have that. So by Stefanski going there, it is basically a good thing, saying, hey, listen, I know it's not conventional. Usually we would have already talked. We would have hung out. We would have been, everything. This gives him an actual one-on-one time with Baker to go, listen, I get it. It's going to be a very unconventional season. It's going to be super weird. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be a hard.
You're not in it by
thing.
yourself.
Also,
You're not right.
Also, it's going to help so much because Stefanski is an offensive-minded coach, and Baker is the most important part of that offense, no
Right.
matter what. It doesn't matter who you have a receiver. It doesn't matter if you have Nick Chubb in the back. The quarterback is the most important position. It doesn't matter who else is on the field. That is the most important position, and that's the guy who needs to learn and understand Stefanski's offense the most out of anybody.
Right.
So they can do nothing but give him at least a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, no, I think that too. I think that, and same thing like let's take Roethlisberger for instance or whatever. Could you imagine with everything going on? Wouldn't you really want? That's like one-on-one time. Like when we're all hanging
your
out
quarterback
and
is
stuff.
usually your captain of your team. So
Sure.
I could see that from that
Yeah,
perspective because you're the dude that's leading the team. Because I mean, all these quarterbacks are starting to get paid like they are leaders because you don't usually have a defensive guy that is your leader, your captain of the team. Look at Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Cam Newton when he was in his prime, or actually good. I think he's still in his prime still, technically.
Luke
but
Kuechly was the leader of that team.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But I mean, all these quarterbacks,
But
though,
you're
for the
right,
most part,
Roethlisberger,
are
those
all
your
your leaders. Drew Brees, you're telling me that he's not the leader of the
absolutely
Saints?
is.
Majority has it.
Kurt Warner, but that's what I'm talking about. It's like with this group. Like we're all sitting here and we're all talking, but there's times where we're all one-on-one with each other. You're the leader of this show, and it's good when you talk to me. Sometimes you're like, "Hey, man, we can do this," or you want to have one-on-one with Riggs and one-on-one with Austin. That's a good idea to have, especially when you have one-on-one time with the producer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, man, you just broke down that fourth green screen wall.
Oh God.
That's also another fourth wall joke because this isn't actually Progressive Field.
Hillis, I don't know. I got nothing.
Anyways, I could say on exclusive report, I'm not going to give away my source, but I did find out, it's not Peyton Hillis, there will be fans in the stands this year.
Maybe.
The goal is if they're playing because that's how the television contracts are getting paid, and all your season ticket holders and your TV contracts are paying the players.
Yeah,
So
which is a good thing. We already said that. I think that we're at the stage now where, if you look at what the Indians are doing, like, I mean, we'll get into Clevinger and all that later, and Plesac and stuff like that, but if you really break it down and you seriously, like, think about it or at least have half of a brain, right now, if you're wearing a mask or whatever, listen, Mike DeWine tested positive for COVID, and then don't put that on.
Oh my God, you're embarrassing yourself.
I look better this way, I heard.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Go on.
Mike DeWine tested positive, and then immediately tested negative. What is that? Who's Jack Fire?
It's drinks, man. Step your game up.
I don't drink.
You should.
That's why I'm successful and you're not.
Wow. I'm going to put this above my eyes now and cry.
All right, go ahead.
I can't see shit.
Kind of like your career.
Wow. Wow.
Ritz, dude.
Man, I wish I could just ride off the coattails of Peyton Hillis.
Me too. And Brandon Geyer and Matt. Oh, should I keep going?
I was gonna say, like, next you know it's 8:30.
Listen, we got to get in the ring here.
Oh.
Shut up.
He's got like a Chris Jericho list in the middle of the ring.
Right.
List of 1,000 holds.
List of 1,000 names that I...
All right, so Stefanski going to Baker, I think is a good thing. I think it's a good idea. I think it played out well, but you're right. With everything going on with COVID, they catch one thing, just one thing, and you know what I mean. It's not.
Season's
that
over.
part's not
It could definitely be too costly.
And I mean, coming up too in the show, we're going to be talking about college football. 2 conferences already ended up canceling their
Canceling
season.
it out, which is going to be even more weird. I don't even know how that's going to work.
Right.
But I do want to spend time.
Ohio
talking
State and
about
like the SEC.
That's weird.
3
Three
conferences now?
3.
Thanks, producer Tyler. We appreciate it.
That's even more weird. 3 out. It's just things don't make sense to me.
But anyways, I know we have our interview with Parker. Could you give us a little bit of info and then we'll get into it?
We'll be talking with Joe LoSchiavo, former left tackle at St. Edward's High School, former Division I high school state champion, while also being a 4-year starter at Slippery Rock in D2 and being a multiple-time national champion there as well.
Wow.
So we'll get into college football. As for getting the ring,
Yes.
it's going to be, there's plenty of situations that we thought of, but we came to an agreement for getting the ring that Peyton is out per usual. So it's going to be a 3-way.
We can do a 3-way.
Cool.
And
Every
the
now and
topic
then.
is...
Triple threat.
Eiffel Tower.
Am I both sides and you two are just stuck in the middle? Is that what's going on?
If that, well, yeah, you have
I am the
alter
champion.
Ego. Well, alter ego.
Exactly.
Oh, damn. Anyways, the topic is the least valuable player for the Cleveland Indians. Whoever wants to go first, champ goes last.
Are we rocking?
I'm not losing. I'm losing. Rock, paper, scissors. I'm losing rock, paper, scissors, so I go first.
Do it!
That's what I
Do it!
meant.
Rock, paper, scissors! Do it!
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh!
Look at Tyler.
Go, bitch, go!
I have been beat for the first time ever.
Carlos Santana.
Am I hitting go or are you
Oh.
still in shock?
Carlos Santana's least. Yeah, go ahead. We'll go with Carlos
Ready?
Santana.
3,
I'm defending
2,
him.
1. Here we go. Go.
I'm surprised I beat him in rock, paper, scissors. That should be 1.
1.
All right.
From what I've seen so far in these games, when I'm not so cloudy, sitting in my own comfort of my own home, I've seen that Carlos Santana, cloudy, yes, Carlos Santana, he hasn't been really that Mr. Walk to first base. I haven't really felt like that he's been that patient. That's what I'm saying, what I've been seeing so far. Guys. This is what I see so far.
Yeah, he's got 3 seconds.
4 home runs? You can do better.
He got, you got 1 point
Riggs.
for the rock, paper, scissors game.
I'm cool with that.
Riggs.
Not at all
You
in
could do
that
better.
entire statement did you make a logical thought. We are all now dumber for listening to that.
I'm just as shocked that I beat him. I looked dead in the camera's face and said, I'm going to freaking lose this.
Yeah.
And I just said, I didn't even sound confident in saying Carlos Santana. I'm still in shock that I won that.
Shut up.
No.
Do you want a rebuttal?
No.
All right, you fucking.
I want something.
Oh my
I want
God.
something.
3, 2.
Is this against me or him?
It's you.
It's a 3-way.
Oh. 3-way though.
And then we went Eiffel Tower, and then
Heck, like-
okay, go.
It definitely. Carlos Santana is definitely not the least valuable player. He definitely has the most walks on the team. Yeah. His batting average doesn't even make sense to his on-base percentage. That's how historic it is. The man finds a way to get on base. He's got a good eye. He hustles, and he's a captain in the Indians organization for sure. It's gonna suck when we lose him. Most least valuable player is definitely Brad Hand. He's blowing saves. He's back to the old Brad Hand that we're seeing. He is not that great, and he's overrated. And again, we're gonna have to find something to do.
30 seconds. And just to be fair, I was really screwed up because you were going back to argue his point. Should I give him points for arguing against? Because he had 2 for Hand and 2 for Santana. So combined, that's 4. But it was supposed to be the least valuable, and you were that was a little bit of the confusion part.
No, Hand is the least valuable.
Well, yeah, but you were also making.
And then you also bet
Santana
to help Santana.
put down him.
No,
Yeah. So I'm confused if that should be 2 or 4.
I want rock, paper, scissors.
Consensus? You know what? We'll do 4.
All right.
Just because I want to see Parker beat it.
Oh, man, here we go.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Not only does Santana lead the team in walks, he leads the entire league in walks by a landslide. That's 1. 2, Hand has blown a lot of games, but the Indians' offense has blown even more games. My least valuable player is the guy who's been getting way too much playing time, and that's Jordan Luplow. The dude is batting absolute trash. He's supposed to be a threat against left-handed pitching. Hasn't done a single productive thing all season long. Also, the rest of the Cleveland Indians roster on offense, garbage.
And you let the beat fade out.
That was nice. 4 tied.
What's usually your last one that usually puts you over?
I'm right.
There you go. 5.
I lose by default.
We all lose because Parker's a professional and undefeated.
He spent way too much time arguing Riggs' point.
Yeah, he
instead of
did.
making his own.
So if you guys all lose, I'm today's biggest winner because I beat the rock, paper, scissors champion.
Who all lost? It
I
was
won.
you that lost and Keith that lost and Parker won.
But I won up here.
The champ is here.
But I want to here.
Man, you know what? I want to turn in this. I have to beat 5. Least.
You
then-
finally want to
What
get off
time
the
do we
chair,
have?
Shao Kahn?
What the hell does that mean?
Mortal Kombat. That was the boss's name.
God, you're awful.
I'm
God,
also
you're
awful.
young.
Yeah.
You are. Oh God.
All right.
No, you're just an awful human being. Go ahead.
Hold on. Somebody has to time this. I'll give him my phone,
Why?
but
You're gonna lose.
that's probably true. But whoever's keeping scores. I'm trying to think of the least valuable player. You know what? We'll
3,
do
2,
it.
1, go.
I'd have to say it's actually Oscar Mercado. From the amount of being in the 2 spot last year, it sucks. It's an adjustment. I could actually say that. I mean, his batting's a little rough right now. I do expect him to turn around this year, but at the same time, I mean, he's batting 100 right now. And like Parker said, the whole entire team is very well batting subpar. They should not be 10-7 or 10-6. They're losing again to the Chicago Cubs. Should be swept, and you have Clevinger and Plesac both screwing things over and missing a start.
Do you really think Luplow should be getting more playing time than Mercado?
No, but Bradley
But he
Zimmer
has.
can. Domingo
Yeah.
Santana can.
Then who?
Luplow.
Mercado's got to be playing Luplow's spot.
I just like the idea. Here's my outfield that I like:
gotta-
Bradley
you
Zimmer,
have too many-
Mercado, and Daniel Johnson. That's the outfield.
Daniel
that should
Johnson,
be.
who's already been
Daniel
sent
Johnson?
back.
What a,
Already been sent back to AAA.
Yeah, what?
He's not even playing right now.
Are you cloudy?
Are you watching
Yes,
Is he
I'm
talking
watching.
about the Indians?
Yes.
Okay.
Riggs, can you take us in the break?
Yeah, please.
I actually have my Manscaped underwear on today.
Manscaped. Use the promo code SPORTS, SPORTZ. Manscaped. There's ball toner, ball deodorant. Manscaped. Your partner, your women, your balls will thank you.
CBD Delight!
We'll be right back here on the We Like Sports Podcast.
Don't put that on your balls.
Don't like
if
that,
you're
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTS at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
And welcome back to the We Like Sportz Podcast with Riggs, Peyton, and Keith. We have a really, really cool interview that we're about to do right now. We are with Joe LoSchiavo, former high school Division I state champion out of St. Ed's. Very successful collegiate career at Slippery Rock. He was a multiple-time national champion. Had just an absolutely outstanding career. Had a great academic career as well. So we're going to get some thoughts on what he thinks is going on with the world being so crazy and the NCAA kind of canceling some things and just really having no clue what's about to happen. So welcome to the show, Joe. Why don't you tell us a little about you?
Yeah. I appreciate. First off, I appreciate you guys getting me on the show and back in the football limelight. I guess it's been 4 years really since I've been talking football. So, and obviously with what you guys just mentioned, coronavirus stuff, it's definitely impacted the sports world quite a bit. But yeah, as you mentioned, I went to St. Ed's High School, played left guard there all throughout my high school career. Long snapped a little bit here and there. And then when I went to college, I ended up picking up center. I ended up coming in as a true freshman, played left tackle. After that, they had graduated an All-American center. And just from long snapping, I kind of knew how to snap the ball, so I was just messing around, snapped the ball one day. Offensive coordinator ended up seeing me from the press box and came down and told me, he was like, next year you're playing center. And I'm like, at that time, I'm just a young guy, so I was just trying to get as much playing time as possible. So, obviously I was just trying to take on whatever challenge they threw my way. So I ended up playing center my sophomore year, just kind of as a first time doing it. Succeeded pretty well with it. Had a decent run with that. It was I believe we finished with just a Plesac West championship that year. So that kind of got me a little bit of notoriety as far as All-American honors and stuff like that. I was a second team my sophomore year, and then kind of going into my junior year, I was playing center as well. Again, we had a really great run, made to the quarterfinals of the national playoffs. Ended up winning our division, like our Plesac West, as well as the whole state of Pennsylvania conference. And then we ended up trying to make that national run and ended up kind of getting stopped in the quarterfinals by Western. I'm trying to think of the college we lost to. And it's terrible I forgot it, but I guess that's just how much I remembered that game. It's a terrible memory. So, but yeah, it was a good run. And then my senior year, I kind of in the off season ended up breaking my foot right before the season started. So I was kind of battling that all year. Got a couple looks from some pro teams, worked out for the Steelers. I actually had James Harrison's agent. He was representing me all throughout the draft process and through that whole ordeal. And never got the opportunity to actually step foot on a field, but I was on the Steelers short list for a period of time. And pretty much what that was like them telling me, like, you better pray somebody gets hurt. It's as terrible as that sounds. But it's one of those situations where you're kind of like the next guy in. So I was waiting for my opportunity, never came. So now here I am 4 years later. I'm in the safety world over at Timken Steel, as well as helping my family out with the restaurant. So it's kind of a quick summary of my my college career.
Nice. What was it like making that transition to the center position with that, being mainly the quarterback of the offensive line?
It was pretty interesting, honestly. Terrible as it sounds, I really wasn't much to be in the playbook. I learned from actually running plays. So I was more hands-on with it, and when I actually transitioned into the center position, my true freshman year, I actually roomed with the center who was the All-American at the time. So he kind of showed me some of the ropes, and as far as learning the playbook and stuff like that, he kind of forced me into learning all that stuff. So it was a pretty easy transition, so I kind of give him a lot of credit for that. But as far as excelling in the position the following in consecutive years, it was just a lot of hard work putting into it. coming in early, snapping with the quarterbacks. That's kind of the main thing is we have different size quarterbacks. Obviously, within Division II, we don't have the tallest of guys. Super athletic, super gifted quarterbacks. Just however, like some of them like snap specific ways, so I would just work with them, before practices started, after practices, because I never wanted to be that guy that snapped the ball over the QB's head and blew a play. Obviously, it might have happened once or twice or a couple times, but it was a pretty decent transition, honestly. The left tackle position, I would say, was probably the hardest transition for me, because right out of high school, I was like a young kid starting off playing left tackle, the blind side of the quarterback. So that was probably the bigger of the two challenges.
Okay. So, Joe, with the whole entire, obviously you were a St. Ed's graduate, and I want to say St. Ignatius, your guys' biggest rival, ended up saying that, they're canceling the season, and then there was a protest against that. What kind of advice could you actually give to these kids that are going through it right now, that there either is no season or else it's cut down drastically, and especially for the kids that are going into their senior year and missing out on their last year?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's terrible what's happening. I guess the best advice that I could say is just stay hungry and keep working, because you don't know when that opportunity is going to present itself again. You don't know what rules are going to change. I know I heard some coaches and some sports analysts saying stuff about, some teams playing in the spring. So it's really hard to tell what's going to happen with the current situation. However, as far as, staying in shape and whatnot, like I mentioned, you just gotta be ready for whenever that opportunity comes again. This was kind of my last year of knowing actual Slippery Rock players that I've actually played with, because I was redshirted my senior year because of the medical injury that I had. But so this was kind of the last year. So these guys that were going into this year's draft, they really got the short end of the stick, and it's terrible what happened. But a lot of these guys that I know that had outstanding seasons, and they were going to get some looks from some NFL teams, and had the opportunity to showcase their skills in pro days and whatnot. With that stuff being canceled, I know that definitely killed a lot of their opportunities, especially coming out of a Division II school. It's a lot harder to get that notoriety and get that spotlight on you. So whenever pro days are presented, I know these guys try and get to whatever pro days they can to get in front of these scouts. And with that not being able to happen, it's tough. You know what I mean? Obviously, these guys don't have Big Ten schools that the film's readily available for scouts, and that it's really a highlighted school that they're really looking at. I know Slippery Rock's done a great job for themselves as far as making a name for themselves with the program, and I was lucky to be a part of that turnaround with the program and getting it on that championship road. But it's pretty tough as far as what these kids could do. But like I said, just keep working out. If there are any 1-on or 7-on-7s or pro days or any of these group gatherings where you have an opportunity to work with people, I know there's social media is a great thing, so utilize that as far as getting together with people that obviously keeping COVID in mind, but people are smart about it, so get that work with the 7-on-7s. I live out in Canton, so I'm by the Canton Hall of Fame. Nice. And this morning on the way to work, I actually saw a team practicing on the field, and it was great to see actually sports, organized sports and people getting back into it. But just looked like it might have just been a group of guys that just got their friends together to get some work in. That's kind of what I recommend people do during this time. So when you're ready, if anything, at least you're ahead of the game, and when it becomes game time, you have that step up on your opponent. You're stronger, faster. Perfect your skills, perfect your crafts. Because this is that time to do it. You're not going to use any eligibility, so it's the best time, I guess.
One thing that I really noticed from your collegiate career that really was like a really neat opportunity. I'm pretty sure your dad showed me a video of it, but you guys got to play each year in the big house up in Michigan. You do a special game up there. What was that experience like, being in a stadium that seats 105,000 people?
So it was a pretty incredible experience. Actually, I've had the opportunity, thankfully, throughout my football career. When I was at Ed's, we actually played at Brown Stadium as well. And we played Mentor at Brown Stadium, and I think Glenville was the second year. And I know we won both games. They were both really good games, both nail biters. But I could say I'm undefeated at Brown Stadium. It's probably something none of the Browns players can say.
Nice. That was nice.
That hurts.
But he's from here, so it's
they're good. They're getting better. But I could say I'm undefeated in their stadium, so that's pretty awesome to have that experience, and play at that stage. But yeah, the big house. That was another great opportunity for us to, showcase what we were doing. We had a really, really great season that year. I believe we were kind of undefeated going into that game, and we versed Mercyhurst. It's another kind of growing rival between Slippery Rock. It's a really great Plesac school, tough team. Every time we play them, you could definitely felt it after that game, because you had to work for the wins with them. I'm sure they'd probably say the same, but it's always a good battle, whether we're down there or whether they're at our place. But yeah, we ended up playing them at the big house only the 1 year, because I believe there's a long history behind Slippery Rocks, like scores, I guess, being announced at like the home Michigan games, and I don't know exactly the whole history behind it, but I know like the fans love Slippery Rock, I guess, just because of our name and whatnot, and whatever that history was. But yeah, that year was great. We had the opportunity to go up to their place. We ended up staying at like the Henry Ford Hotel, so it was a great overall experience. Unfortunately, we didn't pull out the victory.
Sorry, Michigan never pulls it out there, anyways.
Hey, yeah, they don't. So I guess we got their luck on that one, huh?
Right.
But yeah, no, it was a great experience. Unfortunately, we didn't win that game, but we ended up winning our season and going towards another national run. So it was one game that I guess turned us around for the better, but it would have been great to be able to win on that platform. So.
Okay. What's up, man? This is Riggs of the We Like Sportz Podcast. I kind of have a two-part question for you.
All right, go ahead, hit me.
Rather it's football in the backyard with your friends, or you're at any collegiate level or professional level, I feel like you're going into war. You're a gladiator. You're going out there to fight with your brothers. How do you mentally prepare yourself to go out there to get in a MFers, to get in this butt, like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to get this dude, or I'm going to go out there, I'm going to perform the best that I can. And my second part question is, what kind of music motivates you before you step out and play your game?
Okay, so I was about to throw the music out there, but yeah, pretty much before games, like, everybody has their pregame ritual, you know what I mean, what they do typically to get in their routine, so that it's pretty consistent throughout the weeks. I guess my biggest thing is I really didn't like talk much. I kind of just like sat quiet. My biggest thing is I would watch everybody come off the bus without their pads on, because that shows you what a true person's body type is. It shows you kind of like how they carry themselves. If they're walking off the bus and they show some sort of weakness, like a limp or something like that, you can pick it up. It's easier to pick that stuff up without pads on. And then when the pads came on, obviously, when we're kind of in warm-ups and stuff like that, I would always have headphones on, listen to, I would say pretty, like, some rock music, a lot of rap music. At the time, when I was playing college, it was like, I think there was like a Shy Glizzy album or something that was out that, like, all of our guys were playing. I don't know, it was just kind of like whatever that hit music that was in at the time, our guys would play, like, throughout the speakers. I downloaded on my iPod, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of like listen to it while I'm kind of like watching people practice. It's pretty easy. Like, I'd game plan people, so like I'd know their numbers before they even like came into the stadium. So like I kind of know who I had to look for as far as like when they're doing their warm ups, how they move, how they step. If they have any like specific things that give away, you know, like a rush or like a you know, their spin moves, like how they like pre-set up their moves and stuff like that. I guess I always analyze stuff before games, so I was never like one of the guys that were like, you know, banging my head off and stuff and whatnot, because it just expends too much energy. I like to kind of use the smart side of things.
I feel like that's a football stereotype, you know, like the whole me head, go get him, bang my head against the locker, babe, where my Leatherman's jacket?
Yeah, I can't say when those nutcase guys were going off that I wasn't getting hype off of it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously there's those people that like they're just good at you know, being that hype man. That's just not my style. I was more of I just like talk by my game, how I play. That should say enough. You know what I mean? I don't have to kind of hype myself up. But,
real gangsters move in silence.
Yeah, guaranteed. Silence like lasagna, you know what I'm saying?
You can tell he's Italian.
But,
yeah, we have that in common.
Hopefully I don't get sued by Lil Wayne, but that was I did not. That was not me. Yeah, yep.
Now, what I also read that was very interesting to me is when you were at St. Ed's, you were also an academic All-American as well. Or actually on the honor roll, I should say. You were an academic All-American in college as well. And what type of dedication does it take to not only succeed on the field but also in the classroom as well? And how did you use that dedication to push yourself on the field that much harder?
Well, I'll tell you what, through high school, it's really easy because, like, your parents, well, at least my parents were always there to, like, make sure I was doing homework and staying on track and getting decent grades and stuff like that. And then going to college the first year, I fell off. You know, not fell off as far as getting bad grades, but I had to go to like study tables, and that was like, all right, you know, once you get like a C in college, you're an athlete. With anything below a C in your first year as a freshman, they make you go to study tables, and like I got a C because you know you have the freedom to kind of like do what you want. There's not really that like person that's like pushing you to do like your schoolwork. And at the time, you know, I was like a student athlete. So my parents were really more like excited about the athlete portion about that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just, you know, at the time I'm like young and I just thought, okay, like I'm here to play sports, and didn't take school as seriously as I should have my freshman year. But and another part of it, I guess, is there's a lot of elective courses too, you know, so it's not like the coursework that's really I'm interested in. It's not like what I'm going for is like a career path your freshman year. So it's really easy to get uninterested in school. But you have to really just like stay on track with that stuff, because if you are ineligible to play, like you are not playing. Like that is a thing. Like, you know, the people think that they're just there to play football and they just slack off on school. And like on Thursdays when like, you know, a athletic director comes up and says, hey, he's not eligible to play this weekend because of grades, like, that really puts some stuff into perspective for some guys, and they really, like, you know, get their academics back on track. But, like, luckily our school, like I said, they had a study tables where if you were anything below a C, you had to be there for that, like, quarter. So that was kind of like one of those bright, shining moments that was like, all right, like, get your act together. You're here to, like, do both school and play football, because football's not always going to be there. So I was lucky to have, you know, some scholarship taking care of my academics, so I wanted to take advantage of getting my degree and being able to utilize that down the road in my life. But as a freshman, your first like semester there, obviously with the chains you have no chains holding you down, so you can do pretty much whatever you want. And that's kind of, I lost some sight, but you know, getting told that I had to go to study tables and them kind of taking back over, and then kind of being like that parent of saying, like, you know, get your act together, was like that turning point in my career. And it's like, look, I don't want to have a coach like it's bad enough that I have to see these guys, you know, like 4 or 6 hours it's nothing against my coaches. I love my coaches, but like when you're there to play football, like you just want to be like getting coached on football. You don't want to be getting coached on your academics as well. Like, and I'm sure they don't want to be, you know, that parent figure and coaching you on your academics when they just brought you in to play football. So I didn't want to let my coaches down. That was like another thing. Because like I said, they brought you in to play football. They're like paying for you to play football. So like they shouldn't have to watch you like a kid.
Oh, yeah. I played baseball at Tri-C, and we started off in the fall with probably 50 guys. And really, we'd get down to 25, 30 just based on guys being ineligible and not being able to play for the whole season.
Terrible.
And Joe,
terrible. There's a lot of gifted. Good.
I was making sure that I wasn't cutting you off too much. But with the whole entire, like you mentioned, with like the grades and stuff, obviously, like, if you're, like, at study tables, your teammates are going to end up knowing. So, like, how would your teammates end up, like, attempting to at least, like, pick you up as, like, a teammate, like, perspective and, like, also from a grades perspective? Like, did they get on you, too, so that you'd be able to play on Friday nights, Saturday afternoons?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to figure, like, and that's a great thing about Slippery Rock is when they say that they have a brotherhood, like it truly is like a brotherhood at that school. I give them a lot of credit because they create that like senior leadership, and it's year after year. There's senior leadership there at that school, so they really do a great job of molding people into that character throughout the years. However, when I was a freshman, there's some seniors that obviously they wanted to go to that next level, and if they're trying, if you're in their way of going to that next level, and they know you're a good athlete, they'll push you to make sure that you like are also providing for them as well. You know what I mean? Like, people want you to be successful just as much as they want to be successful. But when you're playing football, it's one heartbeat. You have to make sure all levels of the playing field are on their game. Because if there's a guy on defense that's working his butt off, you know what I mean? He could look like trash if he's like, you know, getting put in every other play because your offense is going, you know, 3 and out every set. You know what I mean? So, like, these guys, they really pushed us to do well. They really pushed us to stay in the classes and in the classroom. And it helped out that a lot of the people that were in my major were also on the football team as well. So there was just that, you know, everybody trying to keep each other on track, hold each other accountable, and make sure that everybody could play on the weekends, because when there's talent to be, you know, showcased on the field, they don't want you to be ineligible and sitting on the bench because of grades.
Do you think that with the current situation with COVID and everything, that could be the most difficult thing for these collegiate players at the moment? Is just making sure the academics stay afloat while they're not like actually on campus?
Yeah, I mean, it is challenging, but and I guess I'm not too up to date on how classes and stuff are being handled currently. I'm assuming it's probably a lot of online coursework, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this stuff is being handled. But as far as, you know, people not paying attention and getting good grades, there's really no reason for it. It's harder to be getting good grades when you're balancing practices and you're balancing games, and like your focus is pretty much towards the end of the weekend is just on your game for the week, whoever you're playing that weekend. So I'd say it's more challenging to stay on top of your grades when you're actually playing football than it is like through a time like this. Especially like if everything is online coursework, you know what I mean? You have a lot of resources around you to be successful throughout your courses. Like, I know if you're taking tests, I don't want to say like cheating, but like, you know what I mean? You're taking a test online. I'm assuming that they're allowing you to use resources more through online coursework than if you're actually like in a classroom. So if anything, you should be more successful through online classes just because of like having the available time as well as, you know, just being able to focus more on your academics. And like I said, having those resources available.
Awesome. Well, Joe, we just end up cutting into our next break here for a second. But before we do let you go, for like any like high school or collegiate athlete that is looking for any kind of advice, could they find you on social media anywhere so they could reach out if you're open to giving advice and like kind of building them up as, I guess, in this scenario, building them up as a man and helping out and being that figure for him.
Yeah, anytime. I love anybody that's interested in football or, like, you know, organized sports. It doesn't even have to be football. By all means, if anybody wants to contact me, you can find me on, like, Instagram, Facebook. I know my Instagram, I think, is JSHAV71, so it's just like JShop71. You can find me on Instagram, shoot me a message. I'm on Twitter as well, so it's whatever platform you use, I'm sure you could probably find me. Whether it's, you know, if you're looking at Division II colleges and you're thinking of Slippery Rock as an option, I could hook you up with some coaches' numbers, or if you're that college athlete that's looking to go to the next level and you're looking for agents and stuff like that, I know I have some contacts for that as well. So by all means, I'm looking to help people out as much as possible, because anybody who has an opportunity to play at the next level or has any interest in sports deserves that opportunity. So by all means, contact me, shoot me a message on any of those platforms. And if you just want to chat about, you know, skill sets or whatever, just give me a call, shoot me a message. I'll give you my number if you shoot me a message. I don't want to just give my number out. I don't want the prank phone calls.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for just calling in, giving us that backstory. I mean, it's a little bit deeper than just your football and collegiate football, even the academic side. And I mean, before we do end up letting you go, I want to thank you for being able to be willing to give out your contacts and helping out all these other kids, because it's kind of like passing the torch down in the long run. So again, we want to thank you one more time, and I guess we'll end up letting you go.
I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Thank you a lot, Joe.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and just everybody who's just my last message. Everybody who's kind of like, you know, questionable about this, just keep your heads up and just keep working, because like I said, you're just going to get better for when you're able to showcase your skills again. So
perfect.
Stay positive.
And on that note, we'll be right back on the We Like Sportz podcast after this.
If you're
bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls, thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTS with a Z at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
Welcome back to the We Like Sportz Podcast.
Rick had something to say.
Oh,
I was going to say, welcome to the We Like Sportz Podcast. We're going to. I can't. I was going to say, welcome to the We Like Sportz Podcast. We hope we're turning women on and chasing away weird dudes. We're live here from Hooligans Gym.
Oh, give it a shout out to a good old Hooligans.
Yes, Hooligans Gym.
I thought we were doing it at your house, or is that because I had destructive behavior?
No. We were doing it at my house because that one weird dude that was a stalker and raped somebody or whatever was like freaking out about it. So
the guy that we know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dave?
I forgot what it is. Hopefully he remembers mine. That's me being.
Say he raped somebody and you're gonna blow him a kiss. What's wrong?
It's more like an asshole kiss.
Oh.
Oh man.
Did you go to prison too?
Sports.
Talk about Indians, damn it. Say that one right there.
So the Cleveland Indians.
CBD delight.
So
What about
Plesac
it?
and Clevinger, the Cleveland Indians, are in quarantine at the moment.
Because
Quarantine
they didn't take
dream.
CBD delight. Did you know CBD delight will literally fight the Rona?
Really?
No, that is definitely false advertisement. It will not fight the Rona.
But it'll calm you
it
down
will
when your
calm you down
anxiety's
once
high.
you get it. If you get the Rona, it will calm you down. CBD delight. You can put it on anything, in anything, around anything.
Whoa.
All around anything.
Speaking of asshole kisses.
You can put it around that if you want.
Okay.
I don't think it would make it taste any better. 'Cause
I
it's
probably
tasteless
wouldn't.
and odorless, so
You
you're
can't
really
say
not
hole
doing
when you
anything.
say that.
Ass.
Hole?
There we go.
WHOLE?
Yes, sir. The whole entire thing. Anyways, Clevinger and Plesac. I'm a little, very much questionable at the fact that Plesac was the one that
I
admits
don't
it.
know if that's a right phrase. I'm a little much questionable. Are you sure you want to pursue a career in broadcasting?
A little.
I know speak English good.
I know. I'm not sure why this is the thing for you.
This is your life, Peyton. I played that game and now I'm getting stupid prizes, you know? But
So thoughts on Plesac and
so I
Clevinger?
mean, yeah. Anyways, like Plesac ends up pretty much getting caught. Has to drive home in a rental car for 6 hours. Clevinger hung out with him the day before, kept quiet,
Didn't say anything.
didn't say a
That's
damn
the
thing. Flew
problem.
back with the team with Carlos Carrasco, who had leukemia,
Huh.
Wow.
and then gets in trouble. I mean, your boy Sir Yacht, who's doing a podcast with us now. That's
He wasn't happy.
but like the podcast
Oh yeah, the yacht club. It's funny as hell.
time.
It's called. This is what we call a segue or a plug.
Mondays. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like 8 to 9.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think
So
I
it's
know a
an
little
hour
bit.
show, right?
7 to 8, 9,
7 to 8.
8.
8. Count
Unless they
Peyton.
don't get their pizza, then it runs until whenever.
Explain
they
that pizza thing.
It was bad. So they had this kid here who I've never met before in my life, and he was a little creepy, but he was here, and they wanted pizza. They were like They were very adamant about giving this pizza. Mind you, they smashed a whole case of White Claw before they did the show, which is great. They came in.
They need to come on our show. You realize what we did before this, right? It was Austin's birthday.
White Claw.
We had a couple shot skis.
Oh, shots because they had White Claw.
White Claw?
White Claw.
Hello? This is White Claw.
Now that's racist as shit, and I want you to apologize to Riggs.
I'm sorry, Riggs. Go
Yeah,
on.
thank you for apologizing and not calling me.
So
Black Claw.
anyways, I don't know the kid's name. I can't remember. I'm just gonna call him.
Jake.
No.
Jacoby.
Weird. Is it Jake?
Justin.
Okay, it's Justin. Ordered a pizza. Uber Eats guy couldn't find the place. Like they didn't know where it was. So Weird Justin. Is that his name?
Justin
so
commented
Weird-
on the.
Is it Weird Justin?
Yeah, you
Oh.
did.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
I
He
like
knows
it,
he's
it's just
weird. Go on.
So he orders the pizza and has to has to run all the way down to like Riddell to get the pizza. Well, they weren't gonna end the show until they ate the pizza on air for whatever reason. Hilarious.
I love these guys.
But it was just crazy. Like it was nuts. They never got they did get their pizza, but he had to run down and get it, and then they just kept going with it. Weird Justin never offered us a pizza.
That's
I
rude.
think that's another thing that made me mad. They got pizza and
That
they
is
never offered me any. Sir Yacht did. But what's his name?
Justin.
Justine never offered me
Justine?
anything.
Wow.
Is there an accent on the end?
Justine.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, so obviously, Sir Yacht ended up having a whole entire rant
He did.
about Clevinger and pretty much called him a snake and I don't like snakes and this and that. And I mean,
It went
I
a
guess to
little
go
farther
full
than it
circle,
should
though,
have.
yeah, and I'm just summarizing, but to summarize in full though about the whole entire Plesac, yeah, he got caught. Clevinger lied though. What are your guys' thoughts?
It's not.
Did
good.
he lie?
Right. Is there
Did
documentation?
they physically ask him?
I'm not him, so
he
I can't
just-
answer that.
Is he
Like,
lying to
don't
play a
talk,
child's game?
Wow. I'm not sure I'm taking it. I take it as I appreciate using my line, and then,
Go on. Your
Spitting
line of
it.
what?
he gets paid too much to play a child's game.
Okay.
But it's okay. No, did he get asked? I don't know. Did he
It
lie?
was probably like a don't ask, don't tell
Tell,
type
right.
thing, like when Peyton was in the army.
Honestly, I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound biased, but like I would turn the other cheek and like, oh, I didn't. What are you talking about? I didn't see. I didn't say.
We're talking about don't ask, don't tell, and you're talking about turning the other cheek. You realize how ironic that is, right?
Only for you.
Yeah, you're
Right.
the one that puts
Weird
that
guy.
connection.
I'm over here trying to explain that now, but thank you, you two. Thank you,
What
champ.
is wrong
Thank you,
with-
Keith.
This is what.
Keith, you know, it is actually my birthday week as well. Can we come to terms about what's going on for Friday and making sure that this guy, maybe stays 100 feet away?
That needs to happen. Are you sure broadcasting is your calling?
Not anymore.
We saved a lot of people then today. If you've changed your mind, we have helped a lot of viewers. We have helped even the producer of it's my studio. You treat my studio like garbage.
He's sad.
So is his career.
Take it away, boss.
All right.
This was my show.
We'll have a real professional do it. So with Cleveland,
Wow, he's talking crap about you, Parker Pierce,
No.
professional.
if he would have
No,
had it,
he's also a professional. It's all right.
Damn it, Riggs, help me out.
I was reading this comment from Toby.
I read the last segment.
Toby.
Yeah. Trade one of them for offense.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
alright with
I
that.
can see that.
The only thing is, I like Plesac and I like Clevinger. So would it
Clevinger
make-
has
would it
Plesac
make
was on the
sense-
show.
Would it make sense to trade any of them? I don't really think so, but they're making an example because even
Mhm,
Tito
yeah.
came out and said they did not have to do any of that. They didn't have to suspend him.
I thought
they didn't have to do any of that, and they didn't really suspend him. I mean, they're in timeout, right?
Yeah, they're on the restricted list
Right,
and
they're
missing
on
a
the-
start, and that's probably about it.
Right. That's the only thing that's going to happen. Is it dumb? Should it happen? No. Should they have done it? No. I don't. And again, I'm the person that doesn't believe this whole COVID thing is as bad as it is. But at the same time, everybody else does. So if one person gets sick, I mean, like, think about it. When the Cardinals, I mean, what did we say about them?
We were talking about that at work too. Yeah.
All we did was trash them. All we did was trash that you really can't not do this for 60 games. You really 3 months. You can't do this. You know what I mean? Or 2 months. You can't do this for 60 games. That's all we're saying. And then they turn around and do it anyway. So for us to go, yeah, maybe it's not that big a deal. It's hypocritical.
Yeah.
They need some type of punishment. They have issues. They have, and what Plutko said. You know, he
Yeah,
said
Plutko
he
literally
whipped
took
into him,
the
too.
the dad approach. Like,
Wouldn't you though?
he has to.
as
in
a
that
teammate,
scenario.
you have to. It's just like in our last interview, keeping up on people with their academics to make sure that they're on the field.
Sure.
They should have, at being good teammates, it should have happened with this situation as well.
Especially if you're like the team captain of the squad or whatnot. Like, yeah, you have to put your foot down, be big brother, be
And
that
you know
leader.
what? I'm gonna play this card, and then after this, we'll get into the Kipnis welcome to back home in Cleveland without
Which
any
was
fans.
super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It would have been better with fans, but obviously
Oh,
you got to
yeah.
do what you got to do.
100%.
But my issue
I
with
miss you,
Clevinger is Plesac is only in his second year, first full year,
Dos.
and Clevinger's been around longer.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're telling me that as a veteran, you're pretty much a veteran to the starting rotation. It's
Sure.
like you and Carrasco; those are your oldest guys. You're going to go out with a teammate, probably not second guess it, which I'm not saying is wrong because obviously, like, you're living your life. It would be okay if we weren't in COVID-19 season, Corona season.
Right.
But it's just so stupid that as a vet, he decided that to shut up and pretty much not get in trouble.
Yeah.
And that looks bad as a vet. You don't see somebody like Lindor doing that. And
No.
Lindor
Or
can't
Ramirez.
this year because if Lindor does, you think he's going to get paid the amount that he
Well,
wants.
think about like what Santana did when they were playing Fortnite after a
Right.
loss. Can you
In
imagine
Philly,
what
yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of hell he unleashed?
Oh man.
I mean, just to be kind of in that facility when that happened, could you imagine what he said? I mean,
In
he was
English
probably
and
flipping
Spanish.
out.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
he's probably flipping out. He's probably going crazy. Yeah, in English and Spanish, German, whatever, dude. He was going nuts. I guarantee it.
Stick man.
And it's just, yeah. God, did you rail it? Just go ahead.
Do you want to go to a pillow?
No, I want you to go to sleep.
Okay, I'm going to watch this Kipnis video with you guys and then I'll go to sleep. But anyways, as you guys know, the Cubs ended up getting Jason Kipnis.
Nothing wrong with that. That's his hometown.
First time back. I don't think they show that in the video, but the Cubs players and the Indians players both tipped their caps to the cardboard cutouts. So, I mean, that was kind of cool.
Can I add? I've heard a rumor that after the 2016 defeat to the Cubs, that Jason Kipnis, his family from Chicago, they sent him a care package to his house full of Cubs gear.
Yeah.
just rubbing it in his face. Like,
You do realize, too, after 2016 or 2017, he wrote on the Players Tribune that he literally took that loss so hard that during that offseason, he did not do a damn thing.
When we lost that game and you seen the Cubs celebrating on our mound, you see Kipnis in the dugout. Like, I remember his face and Roberto Perez's face, just a stone look on their face watching them celebrate on the dugout.
And now we're going full circle now that he's playing for the Cubs, and now that they're playing the Cubs again, even with Kipnis now. And first game they lost, right now they're losing 5-2. So on a lighter note, why don't we watch a fun video of Jason Kipnis being on a better team?
This be a time for your first major league hit. The pitch. Swung on, liner toward right field. Base hit. It's a game winner. Jason Kipnis, the kid with a game-winning single to right field. A swing and a long drive. Deep right field. This ball, gone. Jason Kipnis with a game winner. Oh, game-saving play by Kipnis.
Oh my God, yes.
Kipnis gets up close to first.
I loved his aggressive base running. The second Kipnis put his head down, he was gone.
Hold on, let's get
Jason Kipnis. Glove spins, throws, got him! The Indians have won the American League pennant. And Cleveland, you will have a World Series. Head first slide, safe at second, swung on and belted. Away, back, gone! A Chicago native hitting a 3-run home run in Wrigley Field. Throw to the plate, head first slide, safe at the plate. Swung on and blasted.
That was my background for a minute, too.
He played such an amazing World Series, though.
He did. I mean, I would too if I was against my hometown.
Let me ask you guys this. 2-part question. So, with Kipnis being gone off this team and the Indians kind of slacking this year, are they missing somebody of the leadership? Because you went from... You had guys that was like Michael Brantley, and then once Michael Brantley left, Jason Kipnis stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
After
It was
Kipnis...
the opposite. You think Brantley was more of a leader than Kipnis?
No.
No,
Brantley was more
Brantley.
injury prone to me. He was.
Those were the team leaders, though, were Brantley and Kipnis. Those were always the guys that you would always speak to.
Sure, but I definitely see Kipnis over Brantley.
Well, yeah, with the health issues, but I mean, you're
No,
looking
I'm just
at...
talking about leadership.
But
Leadership
anyways,
would've
though,
been
are you
Kipnis.
missing that? Because this year you're kind of lacking.
Yes,
you're
we really
basing
are.
it all on
He's-
Lindor.
It doesn't matter how much he struggled, he was a great teammate, and that's some things you need in championship teams.
Yeah.
At this stage of his career, he's almost like a David Ross, like the guy who hit the leadoff or the home run in Game 7 against the Tribe.
Yep. Riggs, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the aggressiveness, his defense behind the plate. Like, here's another thing I learned too, that doesn't the second baseman always give you, they give you the symbols, like, hey, down 2, 1 out,
Usually
right?
second or
Everybody
shortstop.
does
Everyone-
that.
The scoreboard does that.
Well, I'm saying on the
Guys, he has not played organized sports. Give him a break.
I'm saying like on the field. Like every time on the field, I've always noticed. Like
I
pay
play
attention.
outfield, and I do that.
Well, you're not Jason Kipnis. I've always noticed Jason Kipnis he was your leader. He was your commander. If I'm not paying attention, Jason, how many outs are we? And he'll sit there.
And he
Two,
told you?
Boom, boom. Well, dude,
Yeah,
sign
through
language.
Okay.
Through
See, I
sign
knew it.
language,
I didn't
one,
know
two.
you knew Kipnis. Ass.
Why didn't you introduce him to Keith Miger-Hillis?
We will after. God dang it.
But anyways, though, Keith, what are your thoughts on the Kipnis thing and the Indians missing out on a true leader? And then there's a part 2 to this.
I don't know if we're missing out on a true leader. Do I think he was the leader in the clubhouse? I think he was the leader. But I think Lindor's that leader. I think Ramirez could step up to be that leader. I think that you have, I don't know, man. It's weird because then you got to remember, baseball's a weird sport when it comes to this. You know, you have different leaderships, like Kluber. Kluber was definitely a leader in the bullpen, in the rotation, the lineup, whatever you want to call it. He was definitely a leader to the pitchers. Didn't matter if they were relievers or whatever. But then, think about the people who have been here that have taken those roles within the organization. They're only here for a year. You know what I mean? Like,
It's like renting a player.
And another thing is,
Right,
baseball is such a game of inches that you need those type of guys that literally go out there and hustle for every last possible inch and just play above their actual physical abilities. I mean, that's what helped Pete Rose be so great. It helped Jason Kipnis be the player he was. If he did not have that, he would not be close to the player he was.
So, I know obviously we have our interview coming up soon, Justin Ross, talking Blue Jackets and NHL. But another part to that question, though, and then we'll go out on a note with what the Braves organist did to one of the Blue Jays players. But does Jason Kipnis deserve a statue? It's pretty much a Riggs question in Cleveland.
That is a Riggs question, but I don't know about JK.
Absolutely he does. What?
I don't know right now.
He's not going to be better in Cleveland. This is it. It's now or never, I think.
What are the reasons you wouldn't give a man who literally stopped taking more money to stay with the team? We talk about this crap all the time. This guy was legitimately loyal to the Indians.
I could see him
for playing a child's game.
I could see him being in Heritage Park.
That's
being in Heritage Park.
that's why I was using my brain. I was like,
I can't see them building a statue. He'd get something like a Heritage Park like thing on the wall,
like Jason Kipnis way. You know, right when they're done with Larry Doby or whatnot. I was using my brain for once.
Well, you just touched the gel, so.
You put gel in here? What are you
No, my brain.
Oh.
But
LA looks.
So
back to the 90s.
So what the Braves organist did, we have this video up though, and I actually agree with you though.
I'm sorry, LA looks, dude.
You're looking at the man that sits and watches 90s MTV commercials on YouTube
LA looks.
when he's cloudy. Jesus. Yeah, I called you out. You're
What
welcome.
a chance to meet the balls.
Also, where's Friendship at? Indiana, right? The local gas station up the street from here.
Better than being a Steelers fan in Cleveland.
Right.
Hey,
At least he knows where he lives.
Hell yeah.
Indiana.
So, anyways, though, the Braves organist played "Beat It" for Reese McGuire for his walk-up last night.
Because he got caught jerking it off, right?
Yes, in public earlier
What?
this year.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Ew.
Here it
you
is.
sick bastard.
And on a night when the Braves would love, as you said, Jeff, some length out of their starter, he's thrown 28 pitches and he has one out to get in the third.
Well, I think they'd love some length, but also...
The guy started laughing.
Oh my gosh.
So you have "Beat It" playing in the background.
He was caught doing something in public.
You could say masturbating.
He was caught masturbating in public when you have a nice house, Wi-Fi, and the comfort of your own home to do it there. Like, you exhibitionists make me sick. Like, that's disgusting. I've once gone out and checked my mail in my underwear really, really quick, and I felt wrong doing that. But let alone you're out here touching yourself in public?
Yeah, getting your Pee Wee Herman on.
That is just, oh my God.
We have found an issue that Riggs is very serious
Riggs,
about.
if
You
somebody gave you $1 million,
professional
would you
athlete.
whack it in public?
We can talk about
For
that at
$1
9:30.
million? No.
Where at?
Where at?
And not just that. I don't want this to get
You
real,
pick the
real.
place.
There's got to.
It's got to be
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh,
There you go.
God, $1 million? Yeah, frosted cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Frosted cakes?
Where to go?
Riggs, what are you doing? You whacking it?
I'm beating that shit like it owes money.
Right.
Put it that way, for $1 million.
For $1 million, yeah.
Man.
Just don't look at me.
Look at me all you want. You take pictures. I'll take a selfie with me. I don't give a shit. For $1 million, I'll pay
Dick
for
in
it
one
to go
hand,
away.
phone in the
A
other.
milli.
Is that what you're stroking it?
No, but that's disgusting. Like, dude, who was that player that did that?
Reese McGuire.
Reese McGuire.
Pee Wee Herman's son.
It's the movie theater. Reese, you're a disgusting dude.
You were there, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. Dude, you're a disgusting dude. Like, did COVID and like lockdown have you that stressed out and that bored where you just got tired of sitting in your 5 to 6 room house or 3 room condo or 1 room studio? Like that's
You keep downgrading it.
Because I don't know.
5 rooms you mean your park bench?
I don't know where he lives, but dude, that's disgusting.
Your damn cardboard box whacking it.
By the end of the day, that dude's just gonna be on his
In a
front
van
lawn,
down
dude.
by the river.
Right.
Does anybody know where he got caught at?
We could Google it really
Yeah,
quick.
Google
Then we'll
that.
go to
Google
video.
it and like pull up the police
was it like a
report.
norm? Like, was he like in a like
in a
parking
after
lot.
dark park.
Yeah, like a parking lot.
It's kind of sad
or-
when you search his name. It's Reese McGuire. Beat it.
Yeah, but that's fine. But
You deserve
He
your balls
masturbated
busted.
in his freaking car.
see, I mean, he was in his car. Where at though? Where was the car at? Like,
Right, because I don't.
It says the New York Post, so maybe in New York.
It's a lot of people.
You know, there's like newspapers do stories.
Outside of a strip mall in February,
Okay, outside of a strip mall. What time?
he was
it?
trolled on his way. Oh, he was. Duh, that was what we just watched. It was. Now I'm gonna have a search history of some guy jacking it in his car.
Oh, no images that. But like, nonetheless,
Google listens.
In Florida, a strip mall in Florida, whacking it. Balls deep whacking it.
You deserve to get your balls busted for that. That's like if
No
one of-
pun intended.
Right. That's like if one of us was caught doing an embarrassing act like that. They're not gonna let me live that down probably until 2022 or vice versa.
Yeah, didn't you put up a sex swing for your ex?
I did.
We'll be right back on the We Like Sports Podcast. We got an interview to do, talk about hockey and the Blue Jackets 5OT Manscaped Rigs.
Sports.
If you're
Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTS with a Z at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
What up?
Remember me.
We do now because you're on the We Like Sportz Podcast. How the hell are you doing? No, really, you're on.
Oh, I am? Cool.
Yeah, we're live, Facebook Live, buddy.
Oh, well, I wish you guys would have, given me a heads up or something.
Because Peyton is awful at his job.
What?
If you were in the backfield with Keith Migra and Peyton Hillis, it is run much better, which you can find that show every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So how you doing,
Cool.
man?
So anyways, if you guys need a hockey aficionado, Justin's your guy. That's why
give me
he's
a
here
call.
today. He's going to be talking the Columbus Blue Jackets playing for 24 hours straight.
That was
Wow.
a
Like
wild,
it.
wild game.
Yeah,
It felt like it.
And,
it's a marathon.
so there's so many things. I mean, I was watching the game kind of with you in a parking lot after softball.
Whoa, now wait a minute. We just got done talking about what happened in
Yeah,
the parking lot.
yeah.
Nothing weird happened, right?
Well, I mean, I didn't do anything weird, but I'm not going to speak for you, so I'll go ahead and let you.
All right.
let you
Anyways,
tell the
so
story,
what happened?
if you want.
Tell us what happened in that parking lot that day.
That's up to you, P. I'll tell him.
go ahead. Let's see what you got.
No, it was nothing. It was we were just drinking some beers and watching the Blue Jackets game on an iPhone, sitting on the beer cooler.
That is so cute.
Yeah. There's also a group of a bunch of other people that we didn't socially distance. So Corona, come and get it.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I think it's a bad time to say I tested positive.
Oh,
God.
damn. HIV or Corona?
HIV.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Please don't drink after me anymore.
I won't. Don't drink before me. Anyways, so we got hockey. Obviously, there's so many records going on. Like, the Blue Jackets goaltender ended up having, postseason, save records, or else the Tampa Bay Lightning, one of the two of them ended up having a record.
Yeah, it was the Blue Jackets goalie Corposalo was 82 saves in one game.
So, let me ask you this. Obviously, if there's fans there, what would you imagine the atmosphere would have been if it was a 5-overtime game in the first game of the playoffs?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because with COVID and all this stuff going on, there's never been an actual qualifying round of playoff hockey before the actual playoffs started. So this now is considered the first round of the playoffs, just like any normal season would have been. But this year with COVID, they had 4 teams that were playing in a round robin that you've never seen before. So to be honest with you, by the 5th overtime, I think you'd see a lot of fans sleeping. Sleeping.
That makes sense.
It's a lot more fun when, you know, I mean, think about it. Right now, I love watching sports on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So me being able to sit on the couch and you know, watch a 5 overtime game, it's a lot more fun because on TV you can see everything. You know, from where you're sitting, you're just going to see, you know, one area. There could be a blind spot, especially in ice rinks. You have that, the ice arenas. So I don't know. I just feel like, you know, it wouldn't have been as fun to watch if it, you know, after COVID and all that stuff. A lot of people like seeing it without fans because there's no distractions, none of that stuff.
Wow.
But you know, with the NHL players, it's just like MLB players. It's weird not playing with fans. So I definitely think if there were fans, it wouldn't have went 5 overtimes.
Right, because there's no actual physical being of like presence of people there, like recordings or like, you know, digital screens of fans there. I guess that counts. That's kind of like getting married and having everybody show up via Skype or something like that. Like,
right.
Like I don't know. Like, I have a random, I guess a random question, but like,
and this one was talked about off air, actually.
Oh no. It has something to do with hockey. I emailed the Columbus Blue Jackets earlier this year because I wanted them to release a fitted flat brim cap of the Cleveland Lumberjacks with that color on it and that, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember they wore like a kind of like a retro jersey, like dedicated to the Lumberjacks. The Blue Jackets did. Yep. I don't know. I think like that would be awesome if they came out with a flat brim cap of the Lumberjacks. Like I don't know. Like maybe I should really.
I know exactly what you mean, but to be honest with you, it's going to be very hard to do. So I don't know if you want me to tell you this or not, but the Lumberjacks were actually, when they were in Cleveland, they were affiliated with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Really?
So you would have to email the Pittsburgh Penguins and ask for the trademark to be able to have a flat brim hat because it was their team.
Well, you can have him do it. He's a Pittsburgh fan.
Right.
Sorry, he's a Steelers fan too. Ask him about his tattoo. I'm calling you out, Justin.
Oh man.
You're a Steelers fan, so you got a tattoo where?
I have, so my entire arm here is a full sleeve. I have the Steelers logo. I have Brownie the Elf.
The what elf?
Brownie the Elf.
Brownie the Elf.
But also with his Steelers tattoos.
Yeah, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins logo. I have the old Chief Wahoo from the old stadium.
Okay.
So half my family's from Cleveland, half my family's from Pittsburgh. So it's kind of like a intermixed tattoo thing.
Nice.
Okay.
So that was a joke that your your girlfriend made you get the Browns tattoo. That was a joke. I thought that was serious.
Yeah, no, that was a joke. I actually got it for my grandfather. That was his favorite logo. Big Browns fan. So.
The Penguins.
Just to get back to hockey, I don't know if you saw the game today between the Capitals and the New York Islanders, but the first period of that game seemed to be really, really extra physical compared to most games. And how's that? What kind of like a physical first period to have in a playoff series? What does that do for the entire series, you think?
First period of the first game of the series, it's going to, with it being a lot of contact and very, very physical, you're setting the tone for the rest of the series. But you also have to remember, too, I did catch part of it, and I saw the final score. The Capitals, they were up, 2-0 in the first period, and they ended up losing 4-2. So once you start all that physicality, you have to keep it going because there is another team full of professional athletes just like yourself who are going to be trying to do the same thing. So, it is big, but you have to keep the gas pedal down. You can't let up, and the Capitals let up, and they end up losing 4-2. giving up 4 unanswered goals.
Will you ever get a Cleveland Lumberjacks tattoo since they're Pittsburgh affiliated and your body is Pittsburgh affiliated and Cleveland affiliated? Why not just get them on the middle of your chest?
You know, I never actually thought about it, but growing up, I went to a lot of Lumberjacks games, and when they first sold the team and they disbanded the team, I wanted my dad to buy me the Buzz mascot outfit so bad. They were selling it for $300, and he wouldn't get it for me. So,
I met a old WWF wrestler Al Snow, the Big Boss Man, at a Lumberjacks game in like 1999.
Wow.
Yup.
Did he sign it for you?
He did it, but my friend Nick, he signed his forehead help me because that was like his thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are you saying though, Justin?
There's a lot of dead air, bro. Come on.
No, you were saying something.
Oh no, I mean I actually have an old Lumberjacks jersey that's in a frame.
Nice.
Yeah, and my girlfriend actually has one hanging up in her closet that she wears to the Monsters games.
Wow.
Badass.
And she hates Pittsburgh, so I have to give her a ton of crap for wearing a Pittsburgh affiliated jersey. She just doesn't understand. But yeah, fun fact. I bet you guys didn't know that they were affiliated with Pittsburgh.
No, like I'm just gonna have to email the Penguins and be like, "Hey, Crosby's awesome. So let's talk and go from there."
Riggs, why does
Yeah, so the Monsters actually had to go through Pittsburgh to be able to wear those jerseys.
Okay.
I mean,
wow.
I mean, the Penguins don't. I mean, they're not going to care. It's been so long, but anything they're going to keep such a legendary logo because they're still going to get money off of it. It's always about money.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely. So, Justin, let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, like you said, you're a Blue Jackets fan, a Penguins fan. With
correction, I'm not a Jackets fan, but since the Penguins are out, I am rooting for the Jackets.
Fair enough. So, even better, with an unbiased opinion, what are your thoughts after the Blue Jackets end up playing a 5 overtime game? How does that series end up going from after that first game for the rest of the series?
Well, you know, I thought about that because I had a feeling that you were going to ask me a question like that.
Absolutely.
You have to go back to the first series. So they already played 2 or 3 overtime games, and then they had a day and a half of rest going into game 1 against the Lightning, playing 5 overtimes. They're absolutely gassed. The only reason why they stuck around in that first game was because of Korpisalo, the goalie. He stood on his head, kept him in the game. The rest of the series, I see the Jackets winning 1 and, you know, going down 4-1 in the series. I don't think they have enough in the tank.
I think that game kind of felt for me the same way that you know, the whole J.R. Smith thing happened in game 1. It was just, it's like you're facing an opponent. I mean, the Jackets are the 7th seed. I know Tampa Bay is the 2 seed. They had obviously a much better season, probably a little bit more talent. But that seemed like that was the game that they needed to squeak out to have a chance in the series.
100%. I mean, like we were talking about before, that first game, it defines the rest of the series. I mean, you have Seth Jones, who's the Blue Jackets defenseman. He had over an hour of ice time. I mean, you never see that. He theoretically played an entire game. So, and then they have to come back at it tomorrow. I mean, yeah, I understand. You know, the Lightning were playing in that same game, but you have to think about the days before that. They had a lot more rest days than the Jackets had. Okay. So, keeping it going, I mean, you got to find gas in the tank.
So, I know we ended up making this comment yesterday, and it's a funny backstory with one of the players that are on the Blue Jackets now, and it was actually the Calder Cup game that you ended up mentioning. And yes. I'm just letting you take it over from here with that story, because it's pretty funny.
Well, which one do you want to talk about?
The Oscar one.
All right, so back in 2016, I was at the Calder Cup final game when the Monsters won the championship. And we all went down to Barley House afterwards. The team was there, you know, with the trophy. They're all wearing their suits. Here's me and my buddies, drunk as hell, wearing our free T-shirt giveaways. And Oliver Bjorkstrand walks through the front door of Barley House, and I am absolutely plastered. And I'm and he just scored the game-winning goal in overtime or whatever it was to win the whole damn thing. And I'm like, Oscar, what's up, man? And he daps me up and everything. And about an hour later, I'm like, holy shit. His name's Oliver, and I called him Oscar.
Oh.
So it's like he's a professional athlete, and he like me and Peyton were talking about yesterday, he had to have just felt like, damn, I just scored the game-winning goal to win Cleveland some kind of championship, and the dude doesn't even know my first name. I'm a nobody.
It's because he saw the Steelers fan and realized it didn't matter.
My Steelers tattoo, I didn't have it back then.
Oh.
Here's a closet Steelers fan.
Ooh. That's even
Who,
worse.
me?
Random question for you, bud. Out of part 1, part 2, part 3, what's your favorite Mighty Ducks movie?
Oh, for sure, part 2.
Part 2? All right.
Part 2.
I think
D2.
D2. I like D3. You know, they had to grow up. Hans died. Bombay's not their coach no more. That
we
one
don't talk
coach
about
is a
Hans
dick.
dying, man. I'm gonna start crying.
I'm sorry.
No, it's D2, D3, and then D1.
Okay. The animated series in the 90s was like, all right, what?
It was awesome.
No,
man.
I thought you were like, we can't talk about
No,
that.
the actual Ducks, like they were, I got Disney Plus just for that and Darkwing Duck. Yep.
Not for your
I mean, I have to agree with them. I did get Disney Plus just so I could watch the cartoons.
That's awesome.
I did do
my
that.
Kids, what the hell are my kids got anything to do with it?
I don't know. Disney Plus?
No, Darkwing Duck was me, dude. This
Right, let's
Plus
get
is
dangerous.
Fine. Like they had the YouTube crap with Ninja, whatever he does, and all
Hooked
that.
on phonics.
They don't. Are you making fun of my children because they can't talk?
No. Get out of here. So, anyways, though, I think we're gonna end up transitioning it back because before break we're gonna end up talking about Reese McGuire really quick and how he was beating it in public and the Braves organist ended up messing with him and played Beat It. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
To be honest with you, I have no idea what you're talking about. Someone was caught beating it?
Yeah, in like spring training time.
Toronto Blue Jays player.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, the organist ended up playing Beat It, and Riggs went on a little bit of a tangent about beating it in public. We won't ask you the question we asked Riggs just for time's sakes.
But I mean, you can if you want. I'll make it quick. Is it a yes or no?
I don't think you want to hear it.
For $1 million, would you jerk it in public?
For $1 million?
Yeah.
100%.
Thank you. See, we're all in agreement that money will make you be a pervert.
But anyways, though,
for $1 million, I'm telling you, I am anywhere that is acceptable.
Yeah.
In a non going to jail.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't sit there and put on a show for everybody. I mean, I wouldn't be.
Oh, I would. I'd be twirling that thing around like a sparkler. I'd be like, for $1 million, dude, I'd throw my Vienna sausage to the wind. Like, we are having fun for $1 million. I just wouldn't do it in like a setting where there's minors.
Dude, you can't do that for $1 million because then, you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna become a sex offender, and the
That's
next
what I
thing
mean.
you know, you're the next Jerry Epstein or Jeffrey Epstein.
Whoa, we really went to the extreme. Like, I don't.
Yeah, well, you can't go around just waving your ding around, dude.
What does it mean I'm gonna kidnap women and take them to a private island? I just got $1 million for throwing it
Hey,
around.
he's still a pervert.
Oh, he is, but he's like the extreme pervert.
And
He'll be a funny pervert. Like, oh, look at this jackass.
All right, touche.
So, on that note, though, I mean, probably have one more time for like 2 more questions. What are your thoughts on our boy, as you tell me at least, Zach Plesac and Mike Clevinger going out on the town and then getting caught?
Morons. Absolute morons. I mean, like, Clevinger, lied about it?
Yep.
And then it came out, and, I mean, that just makes him look even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it also makes you think, too, like, I know, like, back in the day, I think it was last year, like, his wife going on Twitter saying, like, he was cheating and all that stuff.
Yep.
And then they came out, and he said that wasn't true. I mean, how true is it now? How many times can somebody cry wolf, you know what I mean?
You took that a step further because we didn't even go to the whole entire last year Clevinger's wife thing and like lying about it. So now you got me thinking.
He sounds like a liar.
Yeah?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love him as a pitcher, but I mean, off the field. They really don't need that right now.
Ain't that the truth? Well,
and
guys,
how stupid can you be?
Yeah, exactly. I'm with him on that one.
Right, we live in an era where there's, someone can pick up a phone, take your picture, and record you. Like, if this was 30, 40 years ago, it's all hearsay. Like, oh, you're lying, and life goes on.
Right. I mean, especially now with COVID, and if you're caught outside, you're done for 2 weeks. That's what, 2 starts for him that we could actually use him. It's stupid.
So, guys, before we end up letting Justin go and we end up pretty much closing the show, any other sports-related questions for Justin? Hockey, baseball, softball, because, he's a stud, just like Parker Pierce.
Who's your favorite log thrower?
My favorite log thrower?
Yes.
Probably Woody the Woodchuck.
The only thing is, I don't know if that's actually somebody. Like, I don't know in the actual Scottish games if there's somebody named Woody the Woodchuck. The probability of that.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, man?
Wow. He wins.
My random sports question is: when you were at the bar that day when they won the Calder Cup, did you see the Calder Cup and did you at least get to touch it, pick it up, look at it?
Dude, even better, I got to drink out of it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
What did it smell like? Or like
one of my. Dude, it was just Bud Light in there. It was just Bud Light.
Oh, so piss. It smelled like piss.
Oh, because Bud Light. Oh, I see what you did there.
Well, no, dude, it's not Keystone. It's Bud Light. It's water. It's water.
Fair enough.
One of my good buddies was actually the assistant equipment manager for the Monsters, so he got us all back there.
Wow.
That's badass.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
It was a good time.
Parker Pierce, what's your final question for Justin? Actually, why don't we take it a step further?
How bad is Peyton at softball?
Well, I'll tell you what. Peyton, did you tell him the Sun story?
Yeah, he saw it on Facebook and made fun of me.
Who, me?
No, Parker did. Austin,
okay.
Parker. Whatever that guy is his name. He hits one home run a year, runs around the bases, and that's about it. He drinks a lot of beer, calls people son. What's that?
How is he in the outfield? Can he read a ball?
So, all right, here. I'll give you the perfect example.
I'll
give you the perfect example. Game 6, World Series, 2016. Tyler Naquin tracking down a center field ball and then just stops and let it drop in front of him.
Yep.
And still on the team.
Yep.
And still on the team.
It's because you love me. I get it.
It's because they need a fallout person to blame. That's the only reason.
Hey, they need a guy to hit a dinger once in a while. That's all.
Hit a dinger
we don't. I can do it.
Yeah, you hit like 4 in a game. Don't be bragging about yourself.
Hey, I gotta plug myself a little bit.
Bragging about yourself.
Yeah.
But I guess on this note, we'll end up heading out. Though it was fun talking to you, Justin. We'll have to end up getting you in the studio at some time and shooting the breeze.
Yeah, anytime. Come on.
Maybe he'll just be our hockey advocate. So we'll end up having some fun.
Yeah, any hockey questions, you just call me.
Oh yeah, there we go. Or Zoom, whatever the two.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
But I appreciate it, man. And why don't we do this before we do end up letting you go? Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, well, you can catch me on Twitter at JRossi. You can catch me on Instagram at JRossi23. Don't add me on Facebook. My girlfriend will get mad about that. I won't give you that, but here's my social if you got a piece of paper.
All right, I'm ready.
Get out.
It's 283.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Did you get it?
All right, but on that note, I'm going to take your credit card and end up seeing you soon. We're done this week. Catch us on Anchor, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and Apple. 9 o'clock Thursday morning. YouTube, 9 o'clock Thursday morning. We got things going on. It's Parker's birthday. Make sure to wish him a happy birthday. That already happened. Keith's is Friday. He's more important, obviously. He has the more famous friends. But we'll see you again next Wednesday, 7:30 to 9:30. For Justin Ross, Parker Pierce, Riggs LeConte, Keith Migra, this is Peyton Vitz of the We Like Sportz Podcast, and we'll catch you next week.
Chico.